Welcome to the Fishing Show's Blast from the Past, where we take a look at archive videos that shows how we got started. In this particular show, I went dock fishing. Dock fishing is one of my favorite ways to catch largemouth bass. You can catch them pretty much all day when they're really happen in a high sun. So let's go fishing on the docks. All right, not a bad bass. Not a bad bass at all. At the dock, looks pretty darn good. Oh, boy, he's hooked good. Guess I wasn't going to lose him by no means. Nice bass. Got a little spot on the gills there and that, I don't know. But he's nice size, you know, about 17 inches maybe, 16, 17. Very nice. Good way to start. All right, let me get him back in here. Oh, what a reedy day. It's got a little breeze out here. It's a little windy. It's been a little bit rough, chilly. You know, of course, it's fall. You got to expect that. All right, but, you know, there was one at the docks. You know, reeds all around it. Hard to get back in there, but that one decided to hit. The first of many, hopefully, today. All right, got to get this boat spun around and back rolling. Another nice bass. Tell you what, same dock. Took my jacket off, getting a little warmer, and caught another nice bass. All right. Oh, look at him go. He's loving it. He's loving it. So am I. Oh, nice. Real nice bass. You know, you can't beat that for dock fishing. You know that's my favorite. I better get us out of here. We got a little breeze that's taking us around, but that's a nice bass. Dang, I like that. I gotta tell you, I like that a lot. Woo! I get excited every time, man. I tell you, just same dock. I just had that bass on this dock, not maybe just smaller. And oh, I tell you, that's sweet. That's a sweet bass. Nice size, big eyes on him. Happy guy, made me happy. On the docks, you know, casting under the docks. We got heavy reeds all around the outside edges of this dock. When I first came over, I thought, boy, you know, it's just so thick that maybe they won't be in there in the dock. But then we came across this, and under the dock started to clear off where it hasn't had good sun, so the reeds kind of died out. And that's where this one came from, and so did his brother. All right, we're going to go see if we can get a big sister here quick. Oh, nice bass. Nice bass. Oh yeah, he's a happy guy. He made me happy. Ow! Cool. Absolutely cool. Same worm, plastic worm, Texas rig. Now, I do a number of shows every year on the docks, and that's one reason I do that is because it's almost a sure thing to fish the docks and catch a few fish. And particularly with the plastic worm Texas rig. You can get it around the dock, skip it under there, and make it happen. Okay, I'm excited. I'm going back. Maybe there's 3. Those are 2 real nice sized bass. Oh, all right. All right. I tell you, get a cast way back in there like that one there was. The last one I caught was way back in there too. You have to get it back in there. You can skip it, flip it, whatever it takes, but get that bait back in there. Let it sit, and wait for that pickup. Now both those bass picked it up like boom. I mean, just no big hit and run. It was just like, the line got a little heavy, didn't even twitch, and then I pulled back on it, then slammed the hook and brought them in. That's what you got to do, because they're not necessarily today. The wind chill, the water temperature dropped like 10 degrees from last week or so. So, you know, they're going to be a little bit slower, not hitting hard. They don't, even in the summertime when it's warm, sometimes they hit that rig. So you got to have a little soft touch, have that real good feel. But getting 2 out of the same dock, sometimes you can get 3. You know, they may be crowded there, especially if you get a school when you get the 3 or 4 pounders. Man, I mean, you can't beat that. That makes a day. Well, we'd like to get a couple more, but man, that's a good way to start here today at Lake Delavan here. Just outside of Lake Geneva, off of 50. It's a very popular lake. We get here today and they're parking in the grass. There's so many trucks out, or boats out here. But nonetheless, there's not anybody that we've seen yet fishing the docks. I know they don't want to fight the reeds, and I understand that. but you got to go where the fish is. Now a lot of the guys out here, you can see they're out there fishing maybe for walleye or for crappie or bluegill, and there's a lot of good bluegill crappie fishermen out here, and they catch quite a few. But if you want to go after the bass like I do, you really got to go where they are. You got to get underneath the docks, hit those shady areas. That's what you got to do. It's fun, and as you can tell, I have a good time doing it, and you will too, without a doubt. You know, just keep in there. All right, we're going to try some more dock. You might try the back side of this dock, and then we're going to move it along, and just like a milk route, hit all the docks that I know produce some fish.
Don't go away. The Fishing Show will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Well, let me show you how to use Texas rig a plastic worm. As you can see, I buy them in the hundreds, and I truly do, because you go through a lot of them. If you don't have a lot of worms, you won't change them often enough, and I change them. Now this particular hook, as you can see, this hook right here has a big loop in it, so when the bass bites, that worm can actually fold down and get out of the way from the hook and let you hook the fish. The other thing, it's got a right on the head. Now I've customized this. This used to have a crank on this, or a little wire on there so it would hold the bait, but I've made this so I can slip my worm right up to the head, and also sanded it down a little bit so it's not quite so heavy. I like it about as light as I can so I can skip it easy. Now I'm going to slide it straight under, straight in about 3/4 of an inch, because that's what I got in the bend up here, and I'm going to break it through, bring it all the way up, slide it up to that head, and I see it staying pretty straight on the worm. Now where the hook is and where the worm is, I'm going to set it like this. Now I know right there at that edge where the hook and the worm come together, that's where I want to stab it, so I can have my worm come out straight. So I'm putting it right in. Now you see that the worm's straight, the hook is protected, so it's not going to get caught on those docks or reeds and so forth. Yet when that fish hits it, he's going to bend this down, the hook's going to expose, and the worm's going to get out of the way, and we're going to bring in a bass. Texas rig, use it all kinds of ways, you know, for sure. Anytime you want to make sure you don't get hung up in the reeds, get caught, the Texas rig hook setup is a good way to do it. Okay, I'm going back to some more dock fishing here, because I just lost that worm. There's got to be another one around here soon. All right. Now here you see, on the other side of that's where I got those two bass. Now on this side here, we got pontoon, boat. You know, that's also a real good place. We got thick reeds here, but right underneath the pontoons and under the dock, the reeds kind of sparse out. And that's why I think those bass were hanging in there, waiting for little fish to come out of the reeds. We're going to go over there and try it again. And then now it gets real technical on how you cast, because we got so much things to get caught and hung up on. Well, as we get up here, we're going to try to make a cast between the pontoons, behind the pontoons. Another thing to look for is where the boat motors are here. Well, when they put those boats down in, the pontoons down in, they start that motor up. They usually churs up the bottom a little bit and gives a little opening, and often fish will stay in that little opening. We'll get here a little bit closer, and we're going to flip right up in there. Now I got one right underneath the pontoon there, in front of where that boat motor is. We'll just see if there's one hanging around in there. But that's the places you want to try, whether we catch one here or not. Now here's another place you have to worry about getting a fish, getting a fish out even sometimes. But if you can, I don't know if we can catch this on camera, there is a narrow path right between the pontoon and that dock. Now if I can get lucky and get one in here a little bit further, that was all right, but I want to get a little bit further. There we go. Nice long cast back in there between the pontoon and the boat. Now you're going to say, what if you get one? How are you going to get it out? Well, that's where the fun begins, getting that fish out of there. That'd be great to get one to show you, because they tangle up really quick. Now we got some wind pulling us back. It also pulls the lure back. But see, I can get pretty close to the dock because I'm not fishing right where I am. The boat's not going to disturb the fish. We're going to try a little bit closer here. Now I'm going to try to get one more back in there and see what happens. Chances are that we've got you know, two main fish here because they were both real nice size. So there probably isn't a lot. Sometimes you can get a school of that 12 and 13-inch bass and you can catch quite a few out of the dock. I mean, I've caught 5 or 6 sometimes out of the same dock, but normally not when they're, you know, the 17, 18 inches size. That, not quite as many that time. 3 probably. Now when the pontoon boats are in the water, it even makes it better because it makes like another big dock. The pontoons are out of the water, so it makes it a little easier to cast back in there. So, but before we move on to the next dock, I'm going to try to get one back in there. And I hit the pontoon. There we go. But see the reeds here? If you can pick up these reeds on camera, we're in thick, heavy reeds. And that's why most fishermen will stay away from this, because it's hard to fish through. It's hard on a trolling motor and so forth. But you get the little clearings in these reeds, that's where the fish will hang out. And you can get a bass hanging in that shade around the docks. Okay, we're going to move on. As we move on, take a look at this. We'll be back in a minute. Tell you what, when you approach a dock like this, we just kind of run over from one to the next. Had to go around the point here, and points are great. You can when you got a point that comes out in the lake and you got a few docks around it, usually it's pretty good. These docks here are nice. They're pretty wide like this and deep. The water's a little low at this time of year, so it's not as tight to the water, which makes it a little bit better dock. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to approach this one here, and I'll just the reeds are starting to clear a little bit here, so that's a good sign. Let me get the trolling motor fired up here. When we get in there close, I don't rush to get in there because you want to try to get a good cast right off the bat if you can, and let it skip right back in there. Now I hit here, but it skipped right back there again, and that's there's a bass in there. And the other thing you do is you don't do a lot. Kind of the do-nothing deal here. Kind of a do-nothing deal. All right, I'm bringing them back. Now I'm going to try to flip it this time because I'm close enough to do that. Now again, I skipped it right back there. It's kind of on the other side, so I'll get a full cross of that dock, a chance to catch a fish. You just kind of pick the spots along the dock here to do this. Now I'm going to bring that one up. Now we got a boat here, and what we'll do is try to get between the stand that holds it up in the dock, right back in there, and we did. We're just going to try to pick this across, but I'm going to keep right on going because these may not be the docks to hold the fish today. Now here sometimes if you can get a cast right straight on the dock and flip it right under there like that, that would go back quite a ways. It gives me a shot right straight on with the fish if he's in there. It's fun getting them out of the docks though when you get them like this. Now the best side of this dock, if there's a fish in here, would be on this side here because it's shaded the most. Okay, now here again, docks are high. I'm going to flip it. I'm sliding it back into that corner there. It's in the shade. It's a possibility. Some of these docks here, this is a little shallow bay. Doesn't always hold as many fish as when you got some depth out to the sides of the docks. But it's worth a try. We're close. You might as well run a couple baits through it. We'll try it again at the back here. Again, I'm going to hit that second stage there, bringing it back to that far corner so I get a little bit of a crisscross across the dock. try one more at the back here. My biggest bass on dock fishing is a 6.5 pounder, and that was caught at the very back of the dock where it goes up into the land in about 18 inches of water. So you got to kind of fish that all the way back to the shore, especially on a good dock when it's got a good point around it and so forth. All right, we got to move on. We don't want to spend too much time because they're pretty active pretty quickly. You get one, you can try another one in a little bit. But just got him out of there. Little guy. Little guy. All right. He's a little guy. And what we've been catching, he's tiny. He's tiny. But, you know, he hit the worm. Now, he may have a big brother or a big sister in there, but he did hit the worm. He did what I wanted him to do. We'll let him go. And we're going to go way back in there because this is a little clear. We got thick reeds out here, but the docks are pretty clear. And he's in it. He's a little guy. All right. Again, it was a pretty good cast right to the right of the pontoon and that. That's where we want to go again. I'm going to go up here a little bit further this time and try to cast back in there. We got a lot of glare on the water and a lot of bright sky in there. With the high sky today, and that's okay, except the way the sun is located, it really puts a lot of light. So we got to get back in there a little deeper for the dock, and then the dock for where that bass may be hiding. I'd catch a lot of little ones like that all day if they'd let me. It'd be fine. Especially we already got a couple nice ones, so the pressure's not so great. Now there, that cast is on the other side of the dock, so I'm pretty much bringing it all the way through that dock. Haven't had any little bluegill bites or anything. I'm going to try one more on this dock kind of diagonally here to get way back in there, which that one came out good. And we'll see if we can get one. If not, if I don't get one on this one, we're moving on. This is tough on Todd. He has to watch me catch these fish. He has to use the camera. But if we get a few more, then he'll be fishing. Sometimes these little rafts can be real good, just dropping one alongside. It's just a little floating dock. Let the worm go down. We're in thick reeds around it though. We're in thick reeds everywhere here. That's characteristic of Delavan. When you get in you go fish Delavan, you know you're going to be in the reeds, unfortunately. But, you know, the fish hang in the reeds, so that's where we hang. We hang in the reeds too. Well, the wind's picked up. The docks have kind of slowed down as far as the bite goes. Got a lot to do. I'll tell you what, we're going to take off here in a minute. But remember, when you get out there on the lake, Lake Delavan, Lake Beulah, any of the lakes around our area that we get to go to, they're really fully developed. And they have houses everywhere and they have docks everywhere. Don't overlook them. Get out there, put the right bait on, cast underneath the docks, have some real fun, because that's where they are. Look for the shady areas. Slide the lure back in there. It's a lot of fun. It's just like you're hunting them. You have a great time. Well, we got to go, so I better tear up here and take off. But dock fishing, you know I love it. Ugh. Got to have a depth finder in the front. Really helps you to know when you're around the docks whether the drop off is right before it or after too. Good thing to have. Little boat control. We have a lot of wind today, so the boat control makes it really difficult. But if you can slide around the docks, put the boat in the right position with the wind, let the wind kind of help you pull along instead of fighting the motor, you'll have a good time. Okay, I gotta go. All right, we get fired up here. Beautiful day. These fall days are the best, the very best. You get out on the water, trees are starting to change, sun is bright, sky is high. It's a little chilly, but the sun is warm. There's not a cloud in the sky today. I hate to leave, but we'll be back. Well, you don't go away, because we've got a little more of the fishing show coming up right after these messages. Nice job, Todd. Nice bass, right up the dock too, man. Yeah, man, that's a nice one. That's a nice one. Oh, real nice. Boy, that's got to be 19, 20 inches.
100.
Real nice.
That's what we're looking for.
That is exactly what we're looking for. Really, really nice.
Thank you.
Really nice. Hang on just... Go ahead. You might as well release him. Just want to make sure we didn't go into the wall. Real nice. Nice job, Todd.
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
You did your thing, man. That's great.
There you go.
He's staying down. Mm-hmm. Can't get him. This side of the boat. Oh, he's nice. He's real nice. Oh. Oh, nice. Nice fish, man. We've been scoring a couple big ones today. He's another fat body, Todd. We got one going here. Oh, he's hooked good too. Wow, he's heavy. Another one in a 19, 20 inch category. He's thick, fat. Ah, I love it. You just gotta love it, man. Todd, what were you scoring today? Woo! Good day. Wind blowing like a son of a gun. Woo! Gotta like that. You just gotta like that. We'll put him back. Woo! Wow, man, what a nice bass. What a nice bass. Okay. Oh, man. Ah, there he goes back. Probably going right back to the dock, right where we caught him, man. Nice worm. Just using a worm. Hook. Texas rig, little weight. Oh, gotta love it, gotta love it. On to the next dock. That's where we're going, the next dock. Whew.